Hey everybody, welcome back to Family Firearm Reviews. Today, we're going to do our 1,000 round review on our Extar EP9. We finally got 1,000 rounds through this. Sorry it took us so long, but we had a lot of other guns going throughout this year, and we're finally getting down to this one. We've had 1,000 rounds through it for a little bit, just finally getting to the reaction and how everything went. We also pulled off the brace just to, people were asking what was underneath that, so we're going to show that today. And then we've got some future plans for this, because we left it bone stock for all the testing just to see how it held up right out of the box. So with that, let's get down into the discussion. So with this, we had no malfunctions over the first 1,000 rounds, and we ran everything from 115, 124, we ran some plus P ammo through it, we ran steel cased, any manufacturer we could find. We ran reloaded ammo and remanufactured ammo. I had a friend that did some reloads for us. They ran through here great. I think we had 0 malfunctions. Well, I know we had 0 malfunctions with this throughout the entire process. So totally reliable, just like the Gen 1s we all came to love. The upgraded trigger components was very nice. I have about a 5.5 pound trigger here on this, and the recoil. It's very low recoil, believe it or not, even with that it's 4.25 pounds all overall weight. We're looking at a 24.25 inch when I put this on, and we're running, that 6-inch barrel with this nice sound, sender downranger, I'm gonna say. It's kind of like a can. The only thing that I did not like a lot was that it is back probably about a 1/2 inch inside of there. So when you do run a suppressor, if you're running something out there that's a little bit wider, a little bit longer, it's not, you're gonna have to make sure it fits inside the handguard before you, put that on your firearm, or purchase that if you wanna run this suppressed at any time. The SIG did great. We never had any problems with our green dot. It held 0. So even with this blowback, it's a little bit simpler. You really don't have very many malfunctions. We had a really, really good time shooting this firearm. The QD mount never gave us any issues. And the nice grip right here, we have that good texture of that B5 Systems. It felt good. You can get your hand perfectly on this firearm. You have lots of purchase here, depending on how you like to put your hand. And we do have that full pick rail and our M-lock. Like I said, we left everything bone stock just so we could get that first 1,000 rounds. So, right out of the box, how it's gonna feel. We didn't adjust the trigger. I think we wanna do that in the future. Now, getting to the buffer tube, we are gonna swap this out later, but a lot of people asked what was on the back of the buffer tube, and we do have a little plastic piece here, and you can actually wiggle that out and remove it from the back of the buffer tube. So you could probably slide something else on there, but what that does is it actually secures this in place. There's a little T in the back of the brace here, and you're able to make sure it doesn't twist around on you when you do get it on there. It's not very hard to get off. If you do get it on there, it took me a little bit just to wiggle it on and off. It's not like the SB Tacticals that used to come on them, where you had that little hole there, and if you put the air compressor in it, you could pump it kind of right off if you wanted to change it out. We do know that you do have to buy some adapters here if you want to swap this brace and tube out. Now, we didn't clean this for the whole first 1,000 rounds because we wanted to do reliability. So if you're somebody that is going to have this out, adverse conditions, all the different styles of ammo we ran, it was dirty. So with that, I'm going to get this forward, right? We can see that we're open. There's no mag in there. We're going to push that bolt forward. We're going to fire off that trigger so we can get her apart here. And it's that really easy takedown. Pull that pin out, and we can pull our firearm apart very nice and easily there. So if we look down at our trigger grouping, you can see it's a little dirty in there, but no big issues. You can see that everything, all those steel components are a nice upgrade. All the buffer tubes, the metal plate they put in the rear to retain your buffer spring and all of that. The magwell, you can see the grooves in the magwell are barely even worn out. So even with this being a polymer upper and lower, the wear and tear on it is very nice, very negligible in this lower. You can't really see any damages or wear on that firing pin, the trigger mechanism, or any of the slide release, slide stop there. Or any of the bolt catch or the bolt release. Or any of the bolt catch or any of the bolt catch, bolt release. All those components are wearing very well. You can see where a pin goes through, and you can see where the receiver sits together. So it's a nice tight fit. It's not rubbing on the edges while we are firing that firearm. Now, when we get to the upper here, we're gonna look at the receiver. We'll pull this back. We'll pull the bolt out, and you can see it's a little dirty. You can see where it's been rubbing and wearing, but it's really not any damages on there. We can wipe that off very easily. We have the nice big counterweight on the rear. We can look in here at our firing pin and see that everything looks, you can see my fingers are getting a little dirty, but all in all, it's in good shape, good wear. We can look at the polymer components inside of the firearm, and you can see where it's been running, but these are just like the Gen 1s. You're not supposed to really lube them up. I didn't put any gun oil or anything on this. I just kind of ran it as is, as they said. So no wear, no friction. The polymer is doing well inside of there. You see it's a little dirty in there, but reciprocating or non-reciprocating handle slides very easily in there. The handguard is in good shape. We can pull off our muzzle device right here. And this was actually very nice. It sent a lot of the sound because we have the Gen 1. We've shot them side by side. It was much quieter to fire and shoot with just this on there than compared to the other muzzle device that we had on our other Gen 1. We both like this. It's pretty dirty inside there. If you give her a good look, catches a lot of soot. So I think this is something that you're gonna have to clean, and it may be a pain to clean a little bit. It is pretty deep. Get your rag down in there. And you don't want to put a lot of hops or whatever you use down in there because that's going to make a mess. But everything looks good. But again, like I was talking about with your suppressors, if you look here, the barrel's actually inside of here. Your threads are kind of deeply inside of this. So if you're going to run a suppressor, it's got to be able to fit inside this kind of ovalish option here on the front of the firearm. Now, this quickly became one of Lauren's favorite and became one of my favorite firearms. We really do enjoy taking this out to the range. Both of us, really enjoy how soft of a shooter it is, how accurate it is, the price. I mean, you're picking these up for $449, so for under $500 shipped to you, shipped to your FFL, getting them transferred to you. The new upgrades with all the metal components and the trigger grouping is a really nice feature that we have here as I'm putting this back together. It goes back together super easy, just like our original. Well, if I didn't push that pin in for me earlier. Let me pull that back out. Push it in there just to take a look at everything. Everything's wearing well. Some of the things we didn't like about the Gen 1, the plastic components, things of that nature, we've upgraded those on the Gen 2, and we have definitely a better, more quality firearm. I know some of the reviews that I've read in the Gen 1s, their trigger grouper was Some of the reviews that I read in the Gen 1s, their trigger group was breaking because it was a polymer components inside of there. Even the safety, if we rack this, the intuitive safety, it's very easy. It wore in. It's not very hard to flick on and off. When I got it, it was a little chunky. It was a little hard to push. But as we've used it throughout firing, it comes off and on very smoothly now. It's in a very intuitive position for you, and it is very, very comfortable. So, firearm, first 1,000 rounds, no issues. Solid firearm, great little gun here, and especially for that under $500 price range, I don't think you can go wrong with the Extar EP9 Gen 2. So, what are we going to do with it next? Well, we have a really cool box right here that I'm going to grab, and we're going to go over that. So, with our little box here, we got this from Ferrotech. We did go ahead and pick up the adapter. So when you do order it, there's a couple different things that you can get. We have our adapter right here that we can put on the Extar right here to allow it to take different buffer tubes. They do give you the set screw, all the hardware. They do send you the castle nut and all the pieces that you're gonna need for your recoil spring. And we did go with the blade here, so we have a little bit of options. So the things that we didn't like is we can't adjust our brace on these, and we wanted to be able to do that, so we picked this up. And we've got a positioning brace so we can put it in and out wherever we would like on that firearm. So that's going to be nice for Lauren and I. And then we also got the buffer tube. So we're going to put all of this on our Extar, and we're going to give you another review once we get all this on. See if this functions, how it affects the firearm, how easy is it to get everything together out there and make sure that it works properly. So everybody that has questions about that, stay tuned, and that's going to be down the road here for the upgrades on our Extar. We're also going to start putting different pieces on it. maybe that front grip that I really want, maybe a hand stop. And then we're also going to see what it's like running it suppressed, if it really likes being run suppressed, or if it has any issues that way. Did you see that coolness? I flipped it back up on my last shot. Just going ready. Thanks for watching our video. Make sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. If you like the video, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel.
Comment below. We want to hear from you. Get more content from Family Firearm Reviews by joining our Patreon and checking out the links in the description.